Previously, the shop got a massive head start thanks to a working bee.
I think it's probably worth even more than the $10,000.
Joanne, that's you.
But a major setback for the 60 Suburban, with team leader Joanne eliminated.
I wasn't going to cry.
Tonight, the pressure's off in the first Renovators how-to class.
We get to roll up our sleeves, get a little bit dirty and just have some fun.
Tiling tricks as Baz builds a Peter Ho designed bathroom.
You can take away some tips.
Then Peter takes us inside an amazing home that blends the old and the new.
Goodness, this is fantastic.
While Robin lays bare the secrets of styling a romantic bedroom.
Close your eyes and really think about a romantic room. Boys, I want you to be sensible here.
G'day Renovators, welcome back to the warehouse. I bet you're wondering what's going on today.
Yep.
Well, we've got a nice surprise. And it's a good surprise. Now, it's a total change of pace, and I can tell you there is no challenge today. Today is your very first how-to class.
Oh, good.
And what does that mean? Well, a how-to class is all about you learning more about renovating, building, designing, styling, landscaping, real estate, you name it. These classes are designed to inspire you. It's where you can pick up knowledge and tips that can possibly help you guys win this competition.
It's great. The stress is off. It's a great opportunity to sit down, relax and absorb.
I'm my happiest when I'm working with people. I love being on the side, so for me this is extremely exciting. We get to roll up our sleeves, get a little bit dirty and just have some fun. And as I've said right throughout this competition, if you have fun and you love what you're doing, you're going to do it well.
And today's how-to project is going to focus on one of the busiest rooms in the house. It's on the top of every renovator's to-do list. It's the bathroom.
Now, I want you to cast your minds back to the 48-hour challenge. One of the outstanding rooms was the bathroom, Peter and Chris. Look at this bathroom, it's great. Your vision was really great with that bathroom, but it did have a few design faults. What we're going to do is actually have a look at different ways to have approached it. Now, I loved your choice of tiles. I thought they were great and beautifully tiled, by the way. But now what we're going to do is look at some different tiles, different textures, different fittings to actually see how a small space really doesn't need to be crammed. Where I think that in the 48-hour challenge, your bathroom was a weeny bit crammed. Pete, how did you find doing the bathroom in the 48-hour challenge?
Well, it was a little bit hard. I mean, taking only 48 hours to do a bathroom, I usually take at least 2 weeks. If I probably had a little bit more time, I probably would have made it a little bit more roomy.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're going to build a bathroom, but what has been created for you guys to build is something whimsical, exciting and all-round fun. And that was designed by the one and only Peter Ho.
Uh-oh.
To a lot of you, he's just a guy who sits beside me with a funny beard, but actually, he's a fantastic architect and designing guru.
Thanks, man. I was really inspired by Suzanne's White Room Challenge and her bathroom, which had a multi-purpose kind of activity about it. Suzanne, what was your vision?
I think bathrooms are so small and I believe that they should be more of a living space, and I believe that they, like these days, are a little bit more of a living space, and I just like the idea of entertaining in a bathroom.
I love that idea. So this is an initial concept drawing. You walk through into the bathroom, and I suppose that's the first thing you see, and is the feature wall and a bit of the splash. So you've got a bench top with a basin on top of that. You've got some mirrors on top of that. You've got a toilet which is behind the door. The only way into the shower and the bath is through the opening. So this hole is something not only that, I suppose it becomes a bit of a threshold, something that we walk through to actually get into its own space, but it's also a seat. It's also a bit of a lounge that you can use in a variety of different ways.
Lisa, what do you think of it? You're a bit of a design whiz. What do you think of it?
It's gorgeous. I mean, it's just so unusual. It's almost quite spacey what you've created with the circle, and I love circles and rectangles together. It's a risk and it's wonderful.
Peter is going to hand his design over to Barry and you guys to create. He's going to leave it in your trustworthy hands. And guys, while that's happening, Peter is going to take some of you on a special mission. It's about showing you some leading Australian architecture to inspire you. So Pete, who's up today?
So we'll be taking Lisa, Pete and Bob.
Oh, wow. Yes. Now, Kim, you'll notice the rest of your team is going. But don't worry, I've got a surprise for you a little bit later. I'm holding you here.
Good. Let's go.
Bye, guys. See you.
Whoa. Oh, done, Baz.
Okay, guys, what I've created here is the bones or the start of Peter's bathroom. The layout in a bathroom can't be more important. It's only a small space, so everything has to be in the right place and be functional, easy to clean. You don't want hidden corners. So toilet, vanity. This is the division wall between the shower bath zone and what I would say is the change area or the vanity area.
Question, Baz. Is there actually a bath in there, or is the water sitting against that wall?
Oh, it does. You'll step through and literally you'll turn the tap on and this will fill up with water. There's still a little bit of structural work to do on that wall, but I want to get in and show the guys about tiling, the big job, getting the tiles on the wall. Peter's designed 2 different tiles in this bathroom. This white ceramic tile is going to be for the walls and most of the floor. So I'll just place a couple of those where they go. On the top of the vanity, and this is going to be quite a job, we're going to have these mosaic tiles. These are the same tiles that we're going to use in the shower zone. So they're going to go on the floor and on the wall. Mosaics are great in a renovation. They look really upmarket and they can really lift a bathroom, but also because they are so small, you can work them a lot better. So in summary, the white tiles are going on the floor, the main wall, and the mosaics are going on the feature wall behind the shower. The whole shower recess will be in the green tiles and on the vanity, and there's a splash of them through the floor and around the feature opening. Okay, Chris, I know you can tile, so I'm going to get you to come up and give me a little bit of a hand to set up.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hey.
As you're aware, this is the entry to Peter's bathroom. When you walk into the entry, the first thing you're going to see is into that corner, okay? Now, I really want to make sure the first thing you see is a full tile. I want to see a full tile there, and I want to see a full tile there. I don't want to have to cut that through there so that there's just a slither of tile there. So if you started at the bottom and work your way up, it might work out that that tile ends up there. So rather than have that, which would be really ugly, I'm going to use these props and some straight edges that we've got so that we can extend the level of the vanity top right across. That way, when you walk into the room, you're going to see a full tile there and a full tile there. Okay, so what Chris and I are going to do is basically just extend the level of the vanity across there. So we'll use that with a couple of battens, a couple of bricks, whatever's laying around the side you can use. So this batten now acts as a continuation of the vanity top, so that the tiles will run true right across there. And most importantly, it needs to be dead level. If you don't start off level here, you'll have all sorts of troubles. Not only that will the tiles not be level there, in the corners, it'll push it out of plumb as well. Okay, we're all level, ready to go, so Chris and I are going to mix up some glue. You want to get us started, Chris?
Yeah, for sure. Love to.
So, the consistency we're looking for is about toothpaste consistency. I'd say that's enough, mate. You think we need a bit more powder in there,
definitely.
Chris? You can always add a bit more, but it's very difficult to take it out. And of course, you don't want to waste any of this glue either. Okay, mate. Yeah, this is nice now. This is, as I say, sort of like toothpaste. Thanks very much, Chris.
That's all right.
You can see now that's a nice firm consistency. I'm going to leave that sit now for about 5 or 10 minutes. That'll give it all the time to settle down, a lot of the air to come out of it, but for all the moisture to get right through all the powder.
Next, tiling 101 in the bathroom.
Slide it. Look at that.
Close your eyes and think about colour, texture.
Robin's tips for a romantic bedroom. And later, Peter's tour of an extraordinary house renovation, combining the old and the new.
So what do you reckon?
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic.
I'm just going to give you a little demo on cutting tiles. I don't know how many of you have done it. I know Tina's had a go, so we'll have a go again, Tina.
Me?
Yeah, go on.
Go, Tina.
Are you going to show them or will I show them?
Do you want to show me first?
I'll show you quickly. Okay, as you know, we're going to use a stretcher bond. That means at the ends there's going to be a half a tile. So we'll start off with a half tile. So there's a little tiny blade on the tip of this cutter. The cutter is on a bit of a spring, so it'll slip down. So we'll grab our tile, we'll pull it back to the back of the tile cutter, okay? So a nice even balance slide across the top of the tile, through the middle, and a light tap. And because that's clay at the back, it's quite soft, and once you break the seal, it'll just click, simple as that. Do you want to have a go?
Yeah, I'll have a go.
Terrific. Slide it. Now, right at the back, and just a little touch with the back of your hand. Look at that. Okay, we're going to lay some of these on the wall. Have you done any tiling before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, let's have a go. So, take the glue out and start to apply it pretty evenly around the wall. We're now going to spread it with a notch trowel. And that's how we're going to work it in. Or you can just put it straight onto the trowel. Want to have a go?
Yeah.
See? Fantastic job. This first layer, we're going to try and lay them all on, and then we'll use a level and some spaces to get them perfect. So, on the bottom, not too much weight. As I push against the tile, the glue spreads. And if you look in there, you can see that the glue's spread right across that notch.
Yeah, yeah.
Lay a couple on there for me. Now, don't forget to leave a little gap. I've got some spaces here. A little bit closer. That's terrific. Apply the weight evenly right across the tile. That's a fantastic job.
All right.
Keep going. Keep going. So we'll put some joints in, little spaces to keep all the tiles the exact same distance apart. So this is a stretcher bond.
Yep.
So halfway across the first joint, we're going to start our first tile. Okay? The spaces on top of the tile and under the next tile, you need at least 2 on each tile so that it's all dead level, and the same space up that way. Chris, I'm going to get you back up here.
Yes, mate. Come on, Christos.
Hey, he's the old pro. We're going to have a go at these mosaic tiles.
No problem.
So what Chris is doing is just setting up a level platform again. The outside of the floor, where the tiles hit the bottom, has to be dead level. The tile that we've got Tina applying at the moment is only a pretty lightweight. These panels of tiles that Chris are going to lay are quite heavy. So it's important, that's why he's going so fast, to get the glue on the wall, get it notched, get these on pretty quickly. And then he has to use probably a trowel like this or the wooden trowel just to make sure he pads it all into the glue pretty evenly. Okay, first mat to go on. In the historic first Peter Ho bathroom. Every single one of these tiles has to be forced into the glue. The only way to do that is with a big trowel.
When you actually lay the mosaic, do you just butt them up against each other? Are they actually in a mat that actually forms a nose?
It's just like the wallpaper, Rob.
Yep.
There's one flat end.
Yep.
But then they've prepared one side.
Yep.
With the tiles extra, and the other one will click into that, just like
So
the
it just
wallpaper.
goes together like a jigsaw puzzle?
Yeah. So a couple of quick tips. Obviously set out the bathroom as close as you can and make sure that there's a full tile at the top of the vanity or where it's going to be noticeable by your eye. Plan your setup around that first tile and where it sits in the bathroom. Don't mix up more glue than you can lay in the amount of time that you've got allocated, and only take off small areas in the beginning.
Okay, guys, looks like Tina and Chris are up and rolling with their tiling. The rest of you, come with me. I've got a surprise for you down to the white room. Let's go. Now, you all know me, and you know exactly my maxim in life. Style is everything to me. Style is my Bible. So what we're going to do is look at one of the rooms that some of you have done in one of these challenges. Remember. This is a bedroom that was created in the 48-hour challenge, and we all know how amazingly stretched with time that particular challenge was.
Lovely, the front bedroom.
Yeah, I know, it's lovely,
It looks
isn't it?
terrific.
This room was done by Kim and by Ali. And I have to say you did a fantastic job, and I thought we'd get an opportunity to spend a bit more time with this bedroom and really think perhaps what could have been done. I remember, Kim, you said to me, I wanted to be romantic. And then when I went in, I thought, I wonder if it's what you really wanted.
Well, what I envisaged when I was doing the room was something to take it back to the sort of yesteryear look.
So in the end, how did you feel?
It's nothing like I envisaged.
And Ali, what was your vision?
So I wanted it to be feminine, but also smart and something fresh and young.
So as I opened the door, this is what I saw. Wow, black and white. Oh, colour here. And then I look up here and whoa, a huge bed head. And then a drop of acid on either side with your lamps. And then just a tiny, tiny bit of wicker romance. Okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to really, really think about romance. Boys, I want you to be sensible here. And really think about what a romantic room would look like in your mind. Think about colour, texture, details. You got an image, everybody? Okay, Luke, other than black and white, what were you thinking? Romance.
Reds.
Red? Whoa. Okay, that's a really interesting choice. Samantha, what were you thinking?
I sort of went the white with the very pale pinks and purples and a little bit of silver. That's where I ended up.
I'm going to show you the colour that romance is to me.
So you do know. Trust it.
I think that what it is when you go into a bedroom is it's your own sanctuary, or it's a sanctuary that you share with your partner. So immediately the colour should convey to you a sense of calmness. So I've actually chosen to go this particular colour, which is sort of like a dusty pink with a slight bit of lilac in it, because it opens a whole spectrum of different colours to use. What do you think about the colour, Sam?
Yeah, that's pretty much the colour I imagined. So I'm really surprised, because I didn't think I had a design bone in my body. So.
There you go.
I would feel so uncomfortable in that room.
Well, okay. We're going to dress this room as a romantic room, so let's go shopping and actually get some things out of the storeroom. Kim and Ali, come with me. And Keenan, you're coming with me as well because I'm teaching you about romance.
Some boy bits.
Luke, come with me, I need some muscles. Okay, the rest of you guys hang and we'll come back with some things.
Next,
What says romance to you?
Robin's step-by-step for creating a romantic bedroom.
Oh, gorgeous! Okay, so what I think we might do is that we're going to get this bed head. Yeah. Luke, we might actually grab that striped carpet in between here, and if you look why I've chosen that, have a look at it with this. Behind you, Kim, I can see a couple of
lovely.
really great side tables here. You've got something that's quite hard edge, yet you're using it against something that's very soft. So that balance actually comes into a neutral zone. Okay, lights, guys. Those beautiful wrought iron ones. Now I'm going to go for these. Kieran, what says romance to you in these chairs?
Oh, probably be looking at these ones with the buttons in them.
Kieran! Kieran, what a great choice. We are making you romantic.
Yeah. Ooh.
Kieran, come in. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, so here's the order of usually what I do when I'm actually going in to style a room. First, the headboard is the most important thing that you would get into a room. It starts to give you a sense of proportion of everything else that you're going to place. Then you do the side tables and look at the way they actually work with the headboard. You would then go to self-furnishing. You would then do lighting. These bedside tables don't need to crowd the bed. They need to be here. Remember, this is a practical room as well, so we need to know where we could lean out and turn a light on and off. The one thing about an eye is, what it does is it lands on symmetry, a pair of anything, or looks at the balance of unevenness. And unless you're going for a decoration that really is going to jar the senses, then it's best to always come back to a symmetry, looking at what works evenly in your eye. Is that even to you?
Just a little bit further. That's it.
Okay. Now, when you look at the lights that we've chosen, Sam, as you're now the new stylist here, and this was your colour, why do you think I've chosen those lamps?
Look, personally, I love them and I love the oval shape of them. And I just love how there's the rounded on the bed head and the oval there.
And is there anything about the decoration on the lamp and the decoration?
On the bed head, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm now doing and what Sam's identified is the decoration on the lamp, the decoration on the bed head actually has a harmony that sits between them. They're not the same, but they're of the same family. So what you're doing now is starting to create a family of shapes. What we're going to do now is actually dress the bed by putting all the linen that we've got. Then we'll start adding details. Beautiful, I love it. Yep. The reason that you have something like a sheer curtain is to let light come in, so you're not actually closing the room down. But as sheer says, romance, Kiernan, it doesn't overwhelm the room. If I were to use a pattern in this room, it would suddenly become the most dominant thing in that room. So the sheer allows you to have a fluidity to the room and a texture to the room without actually saying, look at me, look at me. Originally there was a mirror in the other room and you know this, that it reflects back into the room. So it actually opens the whole room. And in this case, a Venetian cut glass mirror has added a sense of romance that's seen in the bed head, also in the lamp bases. So what I've done is continued with the harmony of the room. So the room is basically finished, but every bedroom especially needs some personal touches. So I've got two things to add. A picture of my husband. Aww. That has to be next to my bed, and this bedside clock that he gave me when we first got married. So that always lets me know that I'm running late. So personal touches mean a great deal in a room. Always remember when you're styling a room, think about adding the thing that makes it feel like there's someone who really lives there. Kim, what does this room mean to you?
Well, it's more like what I envisaged when I was painting that room in the 48-hour challenge.
Well, hopefully I've created the room that you sort of had in your mind but didn't have the time.
It was lovely.
After the break, Peter reveals tricks of the renovation trade for combining the old and the new.
Just a little bit of colour to bring out a modern kind of touch. I am so excited that I can share some architecture with you guys. There are so many great pieces of architecture in this land of ours, and this is one of them.
As we arrive at the property, I feel so excited. It's a classic little bungalow facade, beautiful street, lots of terraces.
So this is an old brick bungalow built around about 1915. And it's been renovated inside by a young Australian architect who's award-winning named David Boyle. So I hope there are things in here that you can take away, some tips that will help you with your own renovation. Why don't we go inside and take a look?
I think the reason Peter's picked this house is that the front of it looks so much like the half-done house, our house. Can't wait to see what they've done inside.
Welcome to the old part of the house. This is very similar to your place. It's an old place which has been renovated. So they marry old and new very, very well. Check it out. And they've kept the old timber floorboards running through the old part of the house. But then they've started doing all this new stuff. And they've made a continuity with the new material, the timber, so it just runs through quite cleanly. There are elements now here like the picture rail that leads you straight into the back of the house and draws your eye right to the very back of the property. This is a good example of the marriage between new and old in the master bedroom.
I really love how everything that is new is colourful and everything that's old's been kept white.
It's really simple, isn't it? Just a little bit of colour just to bring out a modern kind of touch. You know, like this red door here and a bathroom. So this is a new part of the renovation. You don't even need to turn the lights on. You know, the first rays in the morning come in and you can see the whole sky, so you can work out what you're going to wear in the day. You know, you open the cupboard, you know, and you can see everything that you need. Great. I love that you don't have to turn the lights on in this place. So what do you reckon?
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. What an amazing use of light and space.
What Peter's managed to show us so far is a house that exemplifies what he's talking about blending new and old. Very similar to what we have to do in ours.
So the original house used to come to about here, and the brief was to work out how on earth you could open it up to the backyard and deal with the level changes. So by creating a series of different platforms, you created different zones in the house as well too. And the highlight windows now allow the light to spill down into this space against the back wall across a colour, a light blue colour, which is very cooling and calm, which is very, very different to, say, the darker parts of this house, which have a lot warmer colours. So this warm colour that leads you into the kitchen reveals a cubbyhole, which in actual fact is a wine cellar. It's a great use of leftover space. And even under your feet is even more storage. So the best thing about this house is how it's used all of its space to its maximum potential.
The extension of the house was very clever. It had beautiful split levels, great use of space, great use of storage. They combined the old and new in a very clever way. It worked really well.
So all of these interior spaces extend into the outside. The concrete floor becomes the courtyard concrete floor, as does the timber living room becomes the timber deck. And the studio is a sculptural backdrop, which also provides shading as well as privacy. But what I love is the water feature and how you can hear it all the way through all of the entertainment areas inside of this house. What do you guys think?
I absolutely love the water feature, and editing our house, we're having a water feature.
You can now see with the half-done house, with what we're working on, the use of light in the back area with some of the things we have in the backyard. Ideas from here will look magnificent.
So when you're renovating, think about all of the opportunities that you see in this house. I hope it's been a really useful exercise of understanding how you marry new and old. Think about how the inside and the outside can be both separate spaces, but can also be something that's combined together. And think about how you can creatively maximise the use of all of your space.
Coming up,
It's kind of fun.
Baz's bathroom's taking shape.
Look at that, like an expert did it.
Hey Baz, talk us through what you've done while the guys have been away.
We have tiled all the walls, floor and walls, with the mosaics and the normal ceramic tiles. We fitted off the concealed recessed vanity unit. With the help of a couple of the guys, I'm going to finish the grouting and then hope to get the silicone in, clean up, and we're just about done.
Okay, you've done a great job on Peter Ho's bathroom. Tina and Chris, you've done an awesome job. Can't wait to see it finished now.
Well, I've only got a certain amount of time before this grout goes off, so I might get you to come up and give me a hand, Christy.
Ooh.
Have you ever done this before?
A while ago, and I made a bit of a mess of it, to be honest, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, a mess can always be cleaned up. So I'll get you started. If you don't already know, grout is basically a very fine sand and cement mix that we spread over the tiles to fill up the gaps and help seal it. It's really important to force this into the joints. Don't be afraid to go over it once or twice, and make sure there's no sense just skimming over like that, because if it doesn't go right in and get firm against the floor, when you walk on it, it'll all crack up. So Christy, I want you to really, use some strength and push it in, wipe the excess off, and then we'll come around and sponge it off after that. Okay, ready?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Really push it into those gaps, Christy. That's it.
It's kind of fun.
It is sort of fun. I can't stress how important it is to have really clean water when you're grouting. If the water's a little bit dirty, the grout will go off quicker than it has to.
I always do it on an angle, and I've heard you meant to do that, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
Thanks for pointing that out. Let me just show. Suzanne just brought up a really good point. Yep. When we load the trowel up, it's better to go across the perp joint or the grout joint like that, diagonally. And that way you get it into the grooves a little bit better. You really want to start sponging it off before the grout goes off, because if you pull some of the grout out with a sponge, well, you're taking the excess off. Obviously, you've got to push some back in. You don't want to mix up a whole batch. That's why it's quite imperative that we get this underway pretty quickly. So as Suzanne pointed out, it's just as important when we're taking the first layer of grout off, go across the tiles, a decent amount of pressure, and keep it really, really clean. There's still a skim over the tiles, so this will be our first, what I call the first stage of wiping it down. And then once we feel the grout is just about dry, we can go over it once more.
So, Baz, how long till it's completely dry and you can walk on that?
Oh, you don't want to walk on that really until the next day, Brendan. The whole floor is going to move a little bit and you want the grout to be set and in place, yeah, basically 12 or 24 hours, Brendan. Okay, couple of tips for you guys. Go diagonally across the joints. That'll help work the grout into the joint and spread it at the bottom of the tile. A second tip, really, really clean water and a really, really clean sponge and start to wipe with a decent amount of pressure the first layer of grout off. As it goes off, you can take the next layer. It just gets thinner and thinner and thinner down to a powder form. And tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, we can polish it off with a dry sponge. Okay, we're going to move on to the silicone. As you know, we made the vanity top ourselves and it's a wall hung. As I pointed out earlier, there could be a little bit of movement there. And wherever there's movement, grout will break down. So I've scraped out the excess grout from the junction of the vanity tiles and the wall tiles. I'm just going to squeeze in a little bit of bathroom wetter area, non-mould silicone, white, the same as the tiles. Okay, a couple of tips with this. You definitely want to put less than more with the silicone, okay? So I've cut a little angle there, and that's the same angle that I'm going to approach the job with. So the importance is to get the silicone into this joint so that if there is any movement, we're not going to pick it up. The silicone will just adjust with the movement. A really steady hand and try and get a nice continuous flow. It's not easy with the mosaics because the silicone gun jumps up and down as it goes across the joints. If you come across an area just as I have now where it's a little thicker, just pull the trigger a little harder. Stop before you hit the wall, readjust and come from the other way. As soon as I get to the other side, click it off, clean the excess off. Now there's two ways to do this. The old faithful, lick the finger, push it in there. That's perfect. The second way, especially if you haven't done too much of this, is get a bit of soapy dishwashing liquid. And what happens is the silicone won't stick to that as easy as it will to the tiles. So I just lightly spray that on. Just lightly. Just from habit, I have no choice but to lick my finger again and I'll wipe that in. So I push it into the joint. Look at that. It's like an expert did it.
Baz, Pete's on his way back to see his bathroom.
Yeah.
What is there left to do?
Just a bit more. I've got to get these mirror doors on really quickly. Fit the basin, put the taps on and give the grout one more wipe off with a dry sponge.
Next, Peter's back for the great bathroom unveiling.
Dave, you guys have done such a great job.
So what a big day. A huge day. You guys have prepared a bathroom with a little bit of help from Baz. You have tiled, grouted, or a couple of you, Tina and Chris, you've been stars there. Fitted out the bathroom. You've also been styling your bedroom with Robin. What's the biggest thing you've learnt today, Tina?
Well, I've never tiled and I think I was pretty good.
You were very good, Tina.
Have you been scared of tiling before?
I've never considered tiling before.
Jared, what have you learnt?
Learned how to make a romantic room with Robin.
I saw you struggling with your eyes closed there and just finding it just a little bit funny.
It was a little bit difficult.
But you got there in the end, didn't you?
Got there in the end.
It'll pay off, Jared, believe me.
Just got to persist with it.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, Pete.
Welcome back.
Oh, nice.
What do you think?
Love your work, man.
Yeah? Well, I got to say we're very proud of what we've done. We're very proud of what you've done as well. We've put an incredible amount of work into this. Are you ready to see it?
I'm ready to see it. Should I close my eyes? work, man. Love it.
What do you think?
This is amazing.
It
is absolutely amazing. I really love these, the feature small tiles. You guys have done such a great job. It's so hard to do all of these kinds of joints and get it all right. And it just looks fantastic.
You know, we just love it. The way the tiles splash out onto the floor. But it's an exciting space. It was an exciting space to build. It was fantastic. And we've all had a little part in it. Christy, Tina, Chris, we've all had a go at this one. It's been fantastic.
Thank you all very much. Yeah, got to sit in the hole.
Absolutely, that's why I designed it.
This feels great. This is my dream bathroom. Oh, thank you. Love your work. Come and have a bath with me.
This is cool.
The important thing to remember here is that there are 2, 4, 6, 7 of us in the shower right now.
That's great.
Next time, make sure it's level, guys. It's game on.
Come on, guys, it's on the line.
The 60 Suburban team members battle it out to become the next head renovator.
I really want to hold the keys for the 60 Suburban.
The White Room Challenge sees a clash of cultures.
French chic and Aussie beach.
But creative differences prove too much for some.
No! Do not touch the floors.
And ahead, these are not social calls. The teams face their first judgment day.
Muscle, baby, muscle.
Whose renovations are making the grade?
Isn't this fabulous?
And
who's running this show?
Will face elimination.
There's a lot of pressure on all of us.